As more people hit retirement age, many experts are warning of a great retirement crisis. So what does that mean, and how can you overcome it? Joining us to discuss is Gary Mattson and Laurel Stewart, the father-daughter team from Mattson Financial Services, a firm that's been helping people retire successfully right here in West Michigan for decades. You can also catch them on their popular radio show, Money Mentors. Gary, Laurel, can you describe this retirement crisis? What does this mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on because everything out there is very negative. And now people are wondering, well, what's going on with the stock market? What's going on with my plan? Things in the hiring market are vastly different. So it just feels like a lot of crisis as to people are frozen. They're not sure what they should do anymore. There used to be the typical 2 Fs of fight or flight, but now comes freeze mode. And so we're here to help people look at what they've done to save for retirement. Let's talk about it. What are your next moves? If that's maybe companies are downsizing, we see that a lot, and maybe that will affect you. So let's have that conversation.
Okay. So basically what you need to do if you're nearing retirement, you just need to talk it out, right? I mean, is that it?
Well, it's really putting together a plan to meet all your dreams, your goals, and your desires. I mean, they're very individualized. So what we want to know is that what's going on in your world. There's emotional things going on, and you have emotional dealing with the risk and going on in the markets, and that's good to know, but it's not a good way to invest money. A better way to invest money is based upon your risk capabilities or capacity, and then we make sure that the markets don't take that away from you. So you can keep your lifestyles, your critical income need going, and that's the biggest thing when it comes to retirement is not running out of money.
Absolutely, right? No one wants to run out of money.
Right.
So what should someone nearing retirement, what should they, about the personal pension, how should they focus on that?
Yeah, if they have a personal pension that's available to them, there are usually a lot of options. Okay. Could be lump sum, meaning you can take it all out at once and invest those dollars for yourself, managing those. And then the other options vary with the percentages, but based off of husband and wife, it does have to be a spouse, what's available for the secondary. Okay. And so that could mean, hey, I am at a 75% and my husband, Taylor, he would get 25% survivor benefits. Okay. So if something were to happen to me, he would still receive a percentage. But those percentages are always different, and it affects your plan differently. So that's what we like to really flush through, is making sure what does that guaranteed paycheck look like versus if you were to invest in what, going back to what Dad said, your dreams, your goals, and desires. We need to start there, see what you have, and plug them together.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's capabilities where the pension people don't even talk to you about it,
right,
or discuss it, but there's a way to make that pension a bequeathable asset. In other words, you could pass it on beyond your spouse to children and even grandchildren if it's done correctly.
Yeah, the pension people don't want you to know about that.
No,
right? But you guys are in the know. And so when coming up with a plan, you know how all these pieces fit together. Explain that to us.
I think that's the biggest part, is we have focused in on this retirement mindset because it's more than just income, right? Anybody can take your assets, put it in the stock market. When it's up, everything's great. When it's down, hold tight. Well, we believe in a very active management strategy. So we're going to harvest when it's up, and when it's down, we're going to look for buying opportunities. But then outside of that, we've got income, which means pensions and Social Security. What about Medicare? What about the marketplace? If you have to, have a gap in there with your employment, you're no longer employed, you need to have marketplace insurance before you hop on Medicare. We talk about your beneficiaries. What accounts are owned by who? What about even your properties? Because we know money makes people funny, and if you don't plan for all of these crazy things, which we love to do, right, there's going to be a hiccup that comes with your family harmony.
True story. We've seen it all happen many times. And talk about what you see for these people who've come to you and set up these plans. What kind of returns are they getting?
Well, it's really about knowledge is a commodity, let's face that. Yeah. But wisdom is taking knowledge and put it effectively together for a stated goal. So what we're seeing is that for our clients is that 2 things we do. One is that we want to make sure that critical income need, the money, is guaranteed for the rest of their life. In other words, they'll never have to worry about having an income to pay their bills. Secondly, it's about lifestyle. We want assets to grow, and there's things that we want to do. Maybe it's travel, helping other family members, grandchildren with college education, whatever that is. So by putting that plan together and having that long sight in mind for them, we can achieve those goals throughout time, and markets don't really affect that.
Yeah. Absolutely. You don't want to be living or dying by the stock market by any
No,
stretch.
exactly.
Yeah. So how can people get started? What do they need to know?
So if you are one of the first 5 callers today, you see that number there on your screen, you can give us a call and we'll find a time for you to meet with one of our fiduciary advisors on our team. We all have the same licenses. That's very important to us to be that fiduciary standard. And this will be a complimentary meeting to start talking about these goals. What are the assets that you have and how do we really put this together to one holistic plan?
I love it. What a great opportunity for everyone. Thank you so much, Laurel. Gary, so for you at home, if you are worried about facing a retirement crisis and want to find a way to help build your own pension, get a plan in place and take advantage of that special offer from Mattson Financial. If you are retiring or already retired, Gary, Laurel, and the rest of the team will sit down with you to customize a retirement plan. This is a comprehensive, enhanced plan that includes a look at your investments, your income sources, taxes, and so much more to help get you to and through that retirement you deserve. Reserve one of those spots right now. Call 1-800-536-8907. That's 1-800-536-8907.